Guys, Mike, your head trader at your trading group, February 20th. SPCE is in a roller coaster. This stock is crazy. SPCE is crazy. In my 15 years of trading, I don't think I've ever seen a daily chart that looks like this. This is one hell of a wild ride, guys. This stock is as volatile gets. I think the price action right now in SPCE is even more volatile than Tesla when Tesla had its huge move. I know Tesla obviously made bigger moves, but I think the price action in SPCE, it's more volatile in the sense that it's more erratic. We go to the daily chart, guys. I was all over the place today in SPCE. I was short, I was long, I was short. It's like I was up money, I was down money, I was up money, I was down money, I was up money. Wild roller coaster of a ride today in SPCE. Finishing green. I'm going to talk to you guys about all of my trades. I traded this thing like 3 different times today. I've still got a position on. I'll talk to you guys about all of my trades. First, let's talk about the daily chart, though. This daily chart is crazy. This volume is crazy. Okay, there's only 195 million shares outstanding. Not the float. Outstanding. It traded 135 million shares today. The volume is insane. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a daily chart, honestly, guys, in my 15 years of trading. I don't think I've ever seen a daily chart that looks like that with this kind of volume profile with it. I really don't. I've been really thinking about it. And, we have 2 topping signals. You've got the shooting star top. Well, now you have the indecision doji. I mean, you've got some topping signs here on SPCE. And, the thing has just been crazy. It's been a real roller coaster of a ride. This is definitely not for traders with a weak stomach. But I love the volatility. I love stocks like this. I love SPCE when Tesla was going crazy, when Beyond Meat was going crazy, when Tilray was going crazy. I love when large cap stocks or mid cap stocks, large cap stocks, I love when they trade like this because the volatility is so insane. The liquidity is phenomenal. And for me, at least, it's a lot of fun. But today was a roller coaster. So let's get to my trades. Right now, I currently am holding a put option. Right now, I currently have the $35 strike, February 21st. So tomorrow's expiration put option. I'm still holding 30 contracts. I had 130. I'm now still holding 30. Okay. I'll talk to you guys. That was my last trade in SPCE. And I'm going to talk to you guys about, I traded 3 times today. So let's dive right into it. Now, first, excuse me. First, guys, I'm sorry. My video yesterday, I was short SPCE. I covered that position shortly after I filmed yesterday's video. It was just too much risk for me to carry that position overnight and risk a gap up to $41, $42. It was just too much risk. So I flattened out that short. I actually had shares short yesterday. Shares were a lot harder for me to get a borrow on today. Did not have any shares. And what we were doing today was gapping up to an all-time high. So here's your all-time high. Okay. Now let's zoom into today, to the morning, and we'll talk about the morning price action. So here's your morning price action. We were having a really hard time staying above that previous all-time high. So and this was way too early. This was my fault. This is actually a poor entry on my part. But I just thought, we pushed up. We had this huge big pullback to lows. We tried to push higher again, got denied. Tried to push higher again, got denied. And I was like, we can't hold the new all-time high. We would get above the all-time high, then back below it, then above it, then back below it, then above it, then back below it. And every time it got back below it, it was aggressive. Like it was hit down. Like it would come up and then like it would just be lots of bid hits and just hit it right back down and come up and then lots of bid hits. So like the move to the downside was a lot more aggressive. And I was like, you know what, maybe we're gonna fail right there. So I actually went in right here and I entered a put option on SPCE. Let me zoom in. Here you guys can see I bought, and again, same puts that I currently am holding. So I started the day with the 35 strike tomorrow expiration puts at $1.45. Okay. And then we had this push to a new high and then a big rejection. When I saw that, guys, let me zoom in this way to get away from my face. When I saw that failed new high and I saw that volume bar on that failed new high, okay, again, that we made a new high of the day and failed. And it was an aggressive failure. We got back below VWAP, huge volume bar. And I said, okay, maybe there's my crack. There's my failed new high. We may roll here and then get a double top on the daily chart. So I actually added to the position right here. I started the day with a sizable loss. Okay, you can see here I added to tier 3. Okay, so like a max position size here at $1.60. So I'm in at 145 and $1.60. Okay, looking for that failed high to result in a rollover and then for us to roll over and then go right on the day. That's what I was looking for because of the volume the volume bar that came in on that failed new high. I thought we were going to roll over at that point in time, but that good old trusty trade line stuck here as support and pushed us to new highs, and I had to exit that position right there on that new high. Back to my announcement, you can see here I sold out of those options at $1.92. So the liquidity in these options today was kind of actually a little tricky. I was having a tough time getting fills. These options don't trade like the SPY options. They're not as liquid as that. So I was finding that it was a little bit difficult for me to get full executions on my position size at one price point. So there's a couple times throughout this trade that I got filled in different price points. So that's why you see there I exit at $1 and then also at 92 cents. So start the day with a pretty sizable loss because I was in max size on that trade. So starting the day off, not good. Okay. Then we push ourselves higher and I say, you know what, man, this thing is still on fire. It still has juice. You see the strong, steady increase in volume on that push to new highs. And I said, I'm not going to fight this anymore. We actually had a really nice looking long setup start to develop. And you can see here the previous high of the day, which was broken to the upside with real nice, steady increasing volume lined up with a 38.2 Fibonacci level. And then here comes the trade line again, which just previously showed me an area of support. Okay, so trade line's already showing me support. Now here's your trade line with the previous high and the 38.2 fib level. Good steady volume on that break. So I said, you know what? We're actually starting to form a nice little TGG triangle pattern. This actually looks like a good long setup. I came in here with a tier 1. Tier 1 is 25% of your desired size. Okay, now you guys can see now I'm long. Okay, at 40.89, I'm in a tier 1. And I'm going to add tier 2 through the 41.40 area. Okay, so I'm long tier 1. I'm going to add tier 2 if we break above this downtrend line. There's your break above the downtrend line. And right there, I added to a full size position. Here you can see I added tier 2 at 41.62. So now I'm in a full size position. My first take profit's the high of the day. My second take profit's a new high of the day. Okay, so here was your high of the day. So on this move up here towards that new high, towards the high of the day, I took my first piece of profit off the table. Here you can see I took some off at 42.20. Okay, now I'm still holding the bulk of my position, looking for a new high. Then that happened. Okay, then that happened. Absolutely out of nowhere, in about 1 minute's time, this stock went from 42.40 to 38.50 in a matter of like literally a minute. It was crazy. Happened out of nowhere. A couple people in chat were like, Mike, is there any way that we could have knew that was going to happen? The answer is absolutely not. This is just what happens when you have stocks that are as volatile and are as such high flyers like this, that are trading this kind of liquidity, that don't really have the supply and the float to handle this type of liquidity. You're going to get moves like this. Tesla made very similar moves. And if you guys recall, when I had that home run Tesla short a few videos ago, a couple weeks ago, I posted a video that says, an insane monster Tesla short. Very similar price action where Tesla was just grinding. It was trading right near the highs of the day, the whole day. Then out of nowhere, we went from a high of the day to a huge flush back down to the lows of the day out of nowhere. That was the crack. That was the shift in momentum. And then we caught that big backside weakness short, like over $100 a share of downside we caught on Tesla. So now I'm saying to myself, well, aside from exiting, okay, the rest of that long position, take it back to my announcements, sold out the remaining long at 40.55. Okay, so it's 40.55 on that huge flush. I just, bailed out of that position. Okay, hence the roller coaster of a ride here on SPCE, because now I went ahead and I got short again. Like, I usually don't do this. This is very uncharacteristic of my trading, where I usually do not flip flop. I usually am not long, short, long, okay, or short, long, short, all in the same day. Usually I won't go short, long in the same day or go long, short in the same day. Sometimes I will, but not often. Never mind go short, long, short. And that's what I did today. And that's why I'm saying that today was such a roller coaster of a ride. And, the volatility on this stock is just absolutely insane. But the second short, the third trade was the home run, and it made back everything that I lost prior to that. And I still am in a piece of this. I got 130 contracts of the exact same contracts, $35 strike, tomorrow's expiration. I'll take you guys. Well, here, let's get to this setup here first. All right, here we go. So now that we had this huge flush, huge volume bar comes in on that huge flush, and I'm saying now maybe that's the break. Maybe that's the crack in momentum. Very similar price action to what we saw in Tesla. Let me look to see if maybe there's another opportunity now for me to get short. This level, this 40.50 level, was important. It was that previous high. Once we broke above it, it was support. Now we cracked below it again. The trade line was also previously support. Now here comes a trade line. I'm saying I think now it's going to become some resistance for us, and this 40.50 level I think is going to be key. So right there, guys, as we can't get above, I went ahead and I bought back into the $35 strike, 221 expiration. Okay, I'll take you guys back to my trade announcements. Here you guys can see now at 11:02 a.m. I'm back buying the $35 strike, 221 put options at 135. I actually got, again, filled in two different prices. So the trade alert says 135, but I also got some filled at 145. So again, I was having trouble getting the size that I wanted. I was having trouble getting those executions. So I only got 50 contracts at 135, 80 contracts at 145. Okay. Now we go back to the chart. Now I had the reason why that's a lot of size for a stock that's this volatile. 130 contracts for this stock today was a lot. It was big size, but I'm able to take that size because I'm saying if we get above this 40.50, I'm out of this position. Okay. And that would be the last time. I wouldn't trade the stock anymore the rest of the day. So I'm saying to myself, if SPCE does that, I'm out of this position. So from that entry point to that potential stop loss, very small risk. So I took advantage of that opportunity to size up on the position, and it worked out really, really well for me because the stock absolutely fell out of bed at that point. My first take profit was the low of the day. There's your low of the day. So my first take profit comes off the table right there. Back to my announcements. You can see here I took some profit off at 185. Okay, 185. I took some profit. My next target was right around 35. Okay, we sold off down towards 35, made fresh new session lows. And right there, I took the bulk of my position off the table. Back to my announcements. And again, here we are again with this multiple price point fill. So I got the bulk of my position off the table at $2.95 and then more at $3. Okay, so $2.95 and $3. That's a really nice trade there, guys. From 130 contracts, I'm now out of 100 contracts, but I'm still holding on to 30 contracts. And we bounced back all afternoon. And now here we are after market trading lower. Okay, my thoughts are that this action, I think, finally kind of breaks the momentum up in this stock, and I think we get a pullback tomorrow. I am looking for us to get back down towards 30. My target on this was between 30 and 31. My final target was between 30 and 31, and that's this area right down here. Okay. That was this area right down here. We got there today, but this happened so damn fast. Those contracts were trading at $5.50, $5.25 at that point in time. Um, and it happened so quickly. I didn't even have, and at this point, the overall market was selling off. The SPY was selling off look at the SPY. The SPY had this huge drop. Okay. All the big names, Amazon, oh, the Apple's chart, because there's a misprint there. Apple's chart is also, I mean, everything was just selling off. Okay, the Nasdaq, everything was selling off at that point in time. So I started to turn my attention and look at some other things um, to see what was going on. I'm looking for if there's a news release or something. Is there a coronavirus update? Like, did the Fed say something? Like, what's causing that sell off in the overall markets? And I missed this opportunity down here to take my final piece of profit off the table um, when the contracts were trading at $5. So I'm still in 30 contracts. Again, that's a 35 strike. Tomorrow's expiration puts, and I'm looking for, like I said, I'm looking to get back down towards 30. If we get below that, you could see a move down towards 28. So again, guys, daily chart, some topping signals, and I'm looking to see if tomorrow we get a candle that looks something okay like that. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I do get that move to the downside. I like how we're trading lower right now after the close. I'd like to see a gap down tomorrow, and then those contracts should be work themselves back up towards that work themselves back up to that $5 mark, and that'll be a really, really nice trade. So I was able to make back everything I lost in the morning, and I still have some of this trade on. So we got to say, listen, if this stock gaps back up to 40 tomorrow, then different story. But if we continue lower here and we open up below 35, I should be sitting real pretty for those $35 strike put options. So, guys, this stock really truly is a roller coaster. The volatility is insane. Understand, please, the volatility of the stock that you're trading. If you're trading the options, understand you're not going to buy these options and risk like 20%. You're just not going to. Tomorrow the options, the February 21st expiration options will trade very, very, very violently. They will be very volatile, same day expiration. So expect big moves, not only in the stock itself, but expect even bigger moves in the option contract. So adjust your size accordingly, guys, please. All right. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. We'll take a look and see what SPCE is doing, and we'll look to finish the week off strong. Later, guys.